hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm reading now for the month of May. This is a brief introduction. I wanted to show you the deck I'll be using, the decks. This is the Tarot of the Mona Lisa, and it is particular because it is based in part on the Rider-Waite deck. But it differentiates, it diverges in so many ways, and you'll see as I read them, I'll be showing you the cards. And I'll also be using the VERA SIBILLA deck that I love so much, and then I'll use the Neapolitan cards if I need them, and the runes, a set of onyx runes, heavy onyx runes that are really grounding. Well, let's get on with the show. Hello, Virgo friends. Hello, Virgo friends. Hello, Virgo friends. Let's concentrate on you for the month of May and see what's in store, see what's coming up. I'm famished. All I can think of is what I'm planning for myself for lunch. And well, I won't talk about it or else I'll have you mouth-watering, but it's I don't want to talk about it. I'll try to concentrate now on the month of May, Virgo. On the month of May for Virgo. Let's see what's in store for Virgo for the month of May. May. Let's see what's in store for you for the month of May. Here we go. Baby, baby, baby. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Let me show you the cards. Our entrance card is the Chariot, the Page of Wands, Five of Cups, Two of Wands, and the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords. Now, we've got the reading that's pointing in many different directions, but let's see if we could give it some form and some substance. Our Chariot as the entrance card, the question that you ask yourself, we know that the Chariot is a Cancer card. The Cancer card is June 21st, Cancer period, June 21st, July 20th. So it's coming up in shortly compared to May, and in relation to May. Now, the Chariot, what does the Chariot talk about? It talks about definite movement, but it talks about the lack of movement as well. It's a very ambiguous card. Why? Well, it's a card that usually in the Rider-Waite cards, there's always a white horse, a black horse, and there's this tension whether to go forward, whether to go back. The jury's still out on whether the Chariot is a movement card, what it's all about. But here we have definitely a movement in your mind, at least. It is a Virgo, a quest. You're asking yourself, how can I go above and beyond what I am doing currently? And this is, again, if my memory serves me, I believe that last month there was something similar to that in your reading. But that is definitely what your mind will be thinking the beginning of the month. Now, how the action that you will take, the action that you're going to take is a very propositional, a very proposing, a very dynamic way of looking at things, trying to leave no stone unturned and take all the different routes. You want to take action. This is very, very clear here with this Page of Wands. And not only take action, but help others. Help those who are less better off than you, the weaker components in your family, among your friends. You're willing and ready and willing to help. Okay, now, this Five of Cups, what the heck? The Five of Cups is the Mars and Jupiter card. Sorry, is Mars in Scorpio card, and it's the Five of Cups is always a card that fives in general, but the Five of Cups here is a card that people think of as there's something wrong. There is something wrong. There is dissatisfaction. It's not a Six of Cups. There is no return. What's going on? You know, it's undecisiveness in your environment. You don't see those doors in front of you that you can choose from and enter. You don't see the series of choices open to you, which is unfortunate. But remember that the Five of Cups is Mars in Scorpio. After your birthday in the year 2019, in this year, 18, this year in the Scorpio period, October 21st, November 20th, is when that is going to be highest among your feelings. This feeling of not being able to make it, this feeling of what am I doing? I've been doing, is there any other door that I could go through? Why do I feel that my choices are limited? At an emotional level then, we have this Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands talks about a period, well, it's Mars in Aries, and the Aries period has ended in May. It is just ended, and we're talking 2019 then. The emotional side to your living and your experience, your life experience, is going to take definitely a challenge. It's going to be challenged, and you'll start to see the peak of that challenge in that period, Aries period, 2019. The emotional side to your life, Virgo, is something that you have always struggled with to understand, because on the one hand, you have, your mind does wander, your mind does go places where others fear not tread, but when push comes to shove, you have difficulty in facing the emotions, and you don't understand them, actually. This Three of Swords, change is very, very difficult for you. In the position of change, the Three of Swords is a card that talks of Libra, Saturn in Libra. It's right after your birthday this year. It's going to be the period where it's highest among the difficult emotional difficulties period, and I'm going to look at that right away. Very challenging for you. The month of May, more or less, is when you still have these leaps and bounds of fantasy where you're thinking of where you can best serve the universe and give back. But unless there is this, because I see this tension in this way in the spread, and unless you decide, because it's a decision you have to ultimately make, in facing your emotions and facing the lack of sensitivity with regards to your emotion. This is what I'm reading it as. There's going to be heartache. And heartache, it's funny. Excuse me, Virgo. It's funny because when at the same time that I say you don't understand your emotions, but you do have emotional breakdown often, and you do understand, and you still don't understand why. So whereas you're able to have that feeling of emotional breakdown and heartache, you do feel that. But understanding your emotions is another cup of tea. Understanding your emotions and trying to weave through them is very difficult for you. I'm going to take a look now backwards through these emotions and the change and see what these Vera Sibilla can tell us about that. Well, they're sort of confirming here. I have the domestic or the house domestic here, jealousy here, but I'm seeing that as sadness, and the Imeneo, the intimacy card. And they do tell us of this domestic is sort of a person who's not to be trusted as well, sort of a sly type of person, and sadness. And so you're eerie of the element of emotions. Not knowing something, not understanding something, it's always seen as something that we fear almost. So this is very clear. This has clarified that for me. I'm going to take now a couple of cards over the Five of Cups here in the position of your current environment in May. And what do I get? I get the denaro, the money card, or the institution card as well, bambino, child, beginning, and sospiri, sighing. And there is definitely, for many of you, I'm not saying all of you, I'm seeing 45%, okay? Many of you who have dealings with your working environment, your livelihood, that has caused you to have a setback, all right? And it causes you a setback in the month of May. It's a month where you're aiming for something more that unfortunately doesn't meet your expectations. I'm not saying you're in dire straits, but it doesn't meet your expectations, okay? Now, I'm going to look at this, this Page of Wands in the position of your action and see what that has to tell us. Virgo. Okay. Amante, amatrice, the female lover. We've got dispiacere, sadness, and speranza, hope. What to say here? Because you will recall that I said you are the first one out there to take care of those who are less abundant than you, or those who are more needy. And that this is confirmed by that. But you do harbor a hope that it will help you karmically to then attract something your way, to become abundant. Okay. Let me take the runes here to see what they can add to the reading. Ooh. Okay. I've got you under my skin. Oh, look, I don't mean to, excuse me, laugh, but some of these runes are so clear. They come out so clearly that I need to communicate that to you. All right, I have here Thuri Sats, and it's Merkstave, and definitely the month of May is going to bring you to a period that you're going to be dissatisfied with your return. Things that are returning to you because you have higher expectations, financially speaking. But Wunyo is right there. You know, it's around the corner. You know, around the corner is the time when you will become abundant. And I'm talking here in the Scorpio period of this year, October 20th to November, October 21st, November 20th is when that's going to turn around. Don't make any you know, let's be clear. We've got Tyr, bright stave, and Sowilo, bright stave, which both talk of success, as does Ingvats here. We have three major arcana of the runes here, as weird is, and Jifu. I mean, Daeg, you know, are all in a position to say, hold on, Virgo. This is transitory. You need to learn to face certain emotional situations. It will pay off. We have here both Perdro Merkstave, which means you don't see it. You don't have any inkling about it. You know, even if you're a psychic, you just don't see you know, we say that we will never see our own eyes as individuals, as humans. We don't see our own eyes. Unless we look in a mirror, of course. So you're not being able to see because you're looking at it with your own eyes. And this comes from a psychic. I can tell you, I don't see the first, you know, something's happened to me. I don't even see them coming, of course, which is the way life is, you know. But I have Fehu here, this bright stave, and this is really pointing to abundance. And we need to remember that, Virgo. There's the trials and tribulations of the month of May and the upcoming months, as we have seen up until the Scorpio period. But the emotional side to your story is the period. Well, we saw this as being the period that is most, not the period, the side of your reading that causes you much strife, and it will be after, you know, we're talking about Libra, we're talking about 2019 Aries here with this Two of Wands. And so things will come up. That is the longer taking element of change. And see, the emotional side to your stories is something, is a constant that you need to be dealing with all the time. You will be dealing with all the time. As to the abundance coming your way, you know, we're talking here, the Scorpio period. I do hope this was of help to you, Virgo. Namaste. Thank you so much for staying with me. The older subscribers, I really appreciate your support. And the newer subscribers, welcome aboard. Bye-bye.